Hey everybody, Brandon here. Today I'm going to share with you my keto pizza recipe. It's amazing. It's taken me a couple times to really nail it, but I think I got it top notch. You guys are going to love it. So let's get the video started.
Alright, so the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And for today's recipe, I'm going to make a large size pizza. So you're going to want to use 3 cups of mozzarella cheese and a 1/4 cup of cream cheese. And just to melt things up a bit, we're going to pop them both in the microwave for a minute. And that's just going to loosen things up, make it a little bit easier for you to combine. And when you have those combined, you're going to add 1 cup of almond flour and a 1/2 cup of coconut flour, as well as 2 large eggs. And I put a little pinch of Himalayan sea salt, just because I like the little kick that it gives. And then lastly, I'll add 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum. And then you're going to mash that all together, get a nice consistency until you're able to form a ball, basically. You want to form a ball so that you're able to just throw it onto the baking sheet. I personally like to use 2 pieces of parchment paper for this part just because things get really sticky and it just makes your job a whole lot easier. Alright, so for this next part, it may seem a little silly, but you're going to want to get on your knees onto the kitchen floor and start pressing out the dough. And you're going to see why you're using the floor in just a second. So you're just going to want to kind of press out the dough as flat as you can. You want about a 1/4 inch thick for your dough. And this part right here is where you flatten out the dough. Hold the corner of the parchment paper with your knees and just flatten it. Because if you try to do this on the counter, it just doesn't work. I tried it myself, but this seems to work really well for me. And then from there you can pop it onto your pizza pan. I have, like I said, a large pizza pan, and I just kind of push the edges until it fits the pan. But if you notice, there's a lot of areas where it's poking up over the edge in this rough, jagged circle. So I like to just take a knife and cut them all off and put the remaining pieces in the more thinner and more not round places, just to get a more circular dough. You don't have to do this, but I prefer a circular dough. I don't know about you. So once you're happy with your dough, you're going to pop it in the oven. Like I said, for 425 degrees. It should be done preheating. Set the timer for 10 minutes and you should be getting a nice golden brown color. And this is the part where you can add your sauce. Just make sure you're finding a sauce that is low in sugar. Between 3 to 4 grams per 1/2 cup is probably best. And of course, take a spoon and spread out your sauce as far as you like. I personally don't like crust, but you can have a crust if you want. I spread mine right to the edges. And I like to spice things up a bit. I put a little bit of oregano on before I put my toppings on, just to give it a little bit of a kick. And at this point, you're going to want to switch gears, turn your oven on high, and continue making your pizza. You can spread your cheese all over, just thin it out, making sure everything is even. You don't want cheese to be uncooked. The toppings are totally up to you, but for today's video, I'm going to use my favorite topping, pepperoni. And once you're happy with the toppings, just pop it back in the oven on broil. And you're going to let it broil for about 4 to 5 minutes, just to let the cheese melt and the pepperonis cook. If you have different toppings, maybe keep an eye on that kind of thing with peppers or mushrooms, that kind of thing. Just make sure everything's cooked. And there you have it, the most delicious keto pizza you'll ever come across. And like any standard large pizza, you're going to be able to get 12 decent sized pieces out of this crust. And the next part is the best part. Enjoy.
And there you have it, the world's best keto pizza. I'm biased, but I think you guys are really going to love it. Please let me know how it turned out for you in the comments below. And be sure to share this video with your friends and family. Hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Thanks guys, take care.